Are you so sick of your 9 to 5 that you just want to stop working and take back the freedom in your life? You're certainly not alone. It's no secret that there are many people out there who absolutely loathe their jobs and would do anything to retire early. This may seem like a daunting goal, but there are many people out there who are actively pursuing early retirement, and they aren't all people who are making millions of dollars a year. What I'm referring to is the FIRE movement, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. It's difficult to pinpoint exactly when this movement began, but many people attribute its mainstream attention to popular bloggers such as the Financial Samurai and Mr. Money Mustache. These bloggers were pioneers for the movement, preaching about living way below your means in order to let your stash of investments grow and eventually provide you enough money to retire indefinitely. The core of the FIRE movement is based on the 4% rule. We won't get too much into the 4% rule in this video, but the premise of it is very simple. There's a lot of research that supports that if you only withdraw 4% of your total investment portfolio value per year, you will likely be able to continue living off of your investments indefinitely. To anchor you with a quick example, if your monthly expenses are $3,000 per month, that would make your annual expenses $36,000 per year. In order to safely retire early with these levels of annual expenses, you would need 25 times that, or $900,000 in investments, in order to call it quits on your 9 to 5. Although this rule is fairly straightforward, strangely enough, there are still multiple ways that people plan on reaching the goal of FIRE. Today, we are going to talk about 4 of the ways that people approach the goal of retiring early. The first method that we're going to discuss is called lean FIRE, and it's probably the closest method to what the early FIRE pioneers like Mr. Money Mustache followed. The methodology behind this is to cut your expenses as low as possible, saving on every dollar you can in order to reach early retirement. This method does not particularly focus on how much you earn, but rather how much you spend. Many people who strive for lean FIRE will save 50 to 75% of their income, living off only the bare necessities. For example, Mr. Money Mustache posted his 2015 family expenses, and he only spent a total of $24,000, about $2,000 a month. That's some frugal living for a family of 3, and an admirable display of what is possible when you put your mind to it. Before we get to the next type of FIRE, please take a moment to like the video, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe with notifications on. All of these actions help promote the channel in the YouTube algorithm and help spread our message of financial education. Now back to the video. In contrast to the minimalist lean FIRE, the next type of FIRE is called fat FIRE. Fat FIRE is the exact opposite of lean FIRE, where instead of trying to live frugally to reduce your expenses, you try to work with the other side of the retirement calculation, your income. Fat FIRE is very simple conceptually. Make so much money that you can retire and not have to worry too much about how much you spend. This is probably the closest to what most people envision when they hear about retiring early, and although it isn't an option for most people, it's definitely an understandable goal for those who pursue it. The next method may not be as intuitive as the first two. This type of FIRE is known as coast FIRE, and is more about financial independence than it is about retiring as early as possible. Coast FIRE is when you try to build up a nest egg of investments as early as possible, and then once you hit a number that you are confident will grow to a large enough amount to support you, you stop worrying about contributing to your investments and just try to cover your expenses with your income. An example of this would be saving $200,000 by the age of 30, and then if you stop investing and receive an 8% return, you will have over $900,000 by the age of 50 and could theoretically retire off of your investments from 20 years ago. Being able to not worry about saving and let your investments do the work for you is enough to take the personal finance stresses away for many people, which is what makes this method so enticing. This last type of financial independence is known as Barista Fire, and is somewhat a hybrid of the other methods that we've discussed. Barista Fire means that you have saved up enough money and are confident that you will get most of the way to your financial goals, but you may want to go a little bit beyond that. You have reached the point where you can quit your full-time 9 to 5, but in order to supplement your expenses and help you be more comfortable, you get a part-time job such as being a barista. With Barista Fire, you likely do your best to reduce expenses, but you may not live quite as frugally as the people aiming for lean FIRE. This combination of approaches makes it easier to enjoy the lifestyle you want while not having to deal with full-time work, which is what makes it the optimal approach for many. Although these methods all have differing underlying reasoning and methodology, the end goal is always the same. Free yourself from being forced to work for money and allow yourself to spend time doing the things that you really want to do with your life. These methods all have defined ideologies, but the reality is that most people don't follow any one of them to a T. They incorporate some principles into their lives, but they make the decisions that are right for them. No matter how you choose to approach FIRE, just having it in mind will usually help you manage your personal finances more intelligently and lead to a lot less stress about money in your life. Thank you for tuning into the Money Minute. Don't forget to like this video and comment with your thoughts below. If you're liking the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos like this.